Hi everyone, I'm here because I had a parent recently contact me about different multiplication strategies as they're working at home with their kids, as many of you probably watching this are. So I wanted to kind of show you some of the strategies I teach my students when we're normally in school, so that you can hopefully work on this with them at home. Most of you have probably already, your students have already worked on multiplication for the year, but this is a great strategy to be working on even outside of their schoolwork, just to keep practicing their multiplication facts. So I want to go over some of the different ways I teach my students how to do how to learn multiplication, because every kid is different and each one learns in different ways. So the first one is arrays. So if we have a problem 3 times 4, which I'm going to use for all of these problems, 3 times 4, I show them that we can make arrays with just little dots. So in this one, I'm going to put 3 in each row. Row is going across, and then I'm going to make 4 rows all together, like that. So they have 3 in each row, and then they have four rows total. And I always tell them it's kind of like a movie theater, like rows are going across, because sometimes they get confused with the rows and the columns. Rows go across like a movie theater, columns are going down. Okay, so that's one way to make an array. The other way is to make it with 4 in each row, and then only make 3 rows total. Okay, so that would be an example of an array. The next one is groups. This is really handy, especially if they have a word problem that involves groups. So I usually do stars just because they're easier to draw. But if they want to get creative and find something else, just as long as it doesn't take too long. So again, 3. So if I did 3 groups, so I would have 4 in each group. So that would be 1 group. That's 2 groups. And then that's 3 groups. Okay, the other way to do it is to reverse it and to have 3 in each group. It's 1, 2, 3, and then because there's 3 in each group, we have to make 4 groups. Hopefully you can see that, and hopefully it's not too messy. Just trying to make this a quick video that you can refer to. Fact families. So the next thing that you can teach them is fact families. So some of them might have done this in first grade with addition, subtraction. So what I do with my kids is I make a house like this. That house is way too small. We're gonna need more space than that. You need a bigger house. Okay, our house is getting... We don't need so many roofs. Give me a second while I draw this out. I should have drawn this part first. Okay, so we've got our fact family house. So the numbers that make up our family is 3 and 4, and 3 and 4 together is 12 when we multiply it out. So you could give them those. I always give them those 3 numbers, okay? And then the first 2 problems are multiplication, and the second 2 problems are division. So 3 times 4 equals 12. For the second one, you're just flipping the order, because there's one property that says it doesn't matter with division or with multiplication which order they're multiplied in. The answer's still the same. So 3 times 4 equals 12, and 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay? And the second one is division. So you start with the total with division. 12 divided by 3. Okay, I've used 12 and I've used 3, so my answer has to be 4. You can only use each number within each sentence once. Or 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Okay? Next one is repeated addition. So multiplication is the same thing as repeated addition. So with this one, if you had 3, we could do it 2 ways. We could add 4 3 times. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 would be equal to 12. Or we could add 3 4 times. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 also equals 12. And this goes very closely with the counting by, which I'm going to show you at the end. Okay, then the next thing is if your kids are musical and they like to sing, there are some really awesome, very engaging number rocks videos on YouTube. When we were working on multiplication at school, I was showing one of those almost every single day so that they can kind of get familiar with that. The last one is counting by. So this is something I was still practicing with my third graders at school pretty much daily on our number line that we have to keep track of the number of days of school. And so we would just practice counting by different numbers. So this one, you could do 2 ways. Counting by threes would be 3, 6, 9, 12. So if you count by threes, you're going to count by 3 4 times. If you count by fours, you're going to count by 4 3 times. 4, 8, 12. Okay, so those are some of the ways, let me do a close-up, that I show my third graders how to do multiplication. So also on the fact families, if you're just working on multiplication, not division, you can do this where you just don't do the division. You could leave that off for now if they're not ready for that. If maybe you've got some second graders that are just working on the multiplication. Okay, so I will take a picture of this whiteboard so you can see it closer up. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments. Also, if you would like some additional resources, I can email them to you. Just put your email in the comments. Thanks so much. Hang in there, guys. Thanks. Bye.